Hello, everyone, and wait, you're live. Hi! Welcome, everyone, to the premiere of DragonStone Season 3. I am Valdrianth. I am your Dungeon Master for the day. Super excited to be back in the DM's chair, but I am not the only one here. I have some returning and new players at my table. Super excited to DM for everyone, and we're going to go ahead. Everyone is just going to go around the table, introduce yourselves, your pronouns, who your character is, their pronouns, that kind of stuff, and we'll really get into the meat of them when we get into the story. But just a quick round table, starting off with our only returning player this season, Blood Cree. Welcome back, fam.
Hello, I'm playing Rava Oral. She is a half drow. She is a ranger rogue and likes to shoot things with her bow. It is it is a good thing. Though her card should say soul knife because that came out and I decided to go with that.
Oh, did you change
But
it on me already and not change it on the spreadsheet?
I'm pretty sure I changed on the spreadsheet, but it
Oh,
might be
okay.
my bad.
Nope, it's still there.
Uh
All right, I will have
oh,
it for next time.
I will fix it.
All
That
right.
is that is entirely my fault.
Okay. Cool. Thank
I
you.
just wanted to make sure that they all knew.
All right, that you are a soul knife, not an arcane trickster. Okay.
Indeed.
Cool. Very nice. Thank you. All right. Next we have Mitchell.
Hello. Hi, I am Mitchell, Penny for a Tail, he, them pronouns. I will be playing Fleece, the Oath of Redemption Pally, who is the cutest satyr there ever was. He enjoys long walks on the beaches. He's there for you to make you breakfast. He dabbles in kind of slow cooker creation recipes. And he also makes his own clothes via his own hair. So it's all super downy soft. So if you're ever in the need of a mattress or a pillow, just come on down to Fleece, the Paladin.
Just lay on the satyr. All right, I can get behind this. All right. Next.
I'm John. I'm playing Malik Vaughn. Him. He is a half orc, half drow, which is wrong in all the right dimensions. Order of Scribes wizard, big nerd with a big book that talks to him occasionally.
The book talks to him.
Well, the book is sentient. That's part of the Order of Scribes. You have a
That
sentient
oh
spellbook.
man, that's true. Okay, we have cool more sentient objects for me to pretend to be. Sometimes
It's okay.
It's okay.
I'm the only one that can hear it, so you don't have to voice it.
Perfect. Perfect. I love it. Just make my life so much easier. Thank you. All right, and last but not least,
Hi, my name is Jillian. My pronouns are she, her. Today I will be playing Thora, also she, her, who is a Azamir storm sorceress. So this will be very interesting. I'm very excited because when I showed my interest in being an Azamir, you literally went off to be like, this is my favorite race. There's this, you showed me the subset of all these different angels that I could have an ancestry to. And it was very interesting. That was really fun.
it's true. It's true. All right. And, well, thank you everyone for coming and showing up. I'm very happy to get started here. As, again, I am your Dungeon Master Val. This is my channel. I would like to remind everyone that we are a viewer-affected game where you can affect the game with your bits, subs, and donations. Every 100 biddies gives a reroll to anyone you see here, including me. Subscribing to the channel gives nat 1s or nat 20s to anyone you see here, depending. So, Pope, since you paid 3 months in advance, that's 3 natties to give out. Please let us know in chat where you want those to go and if you want them to be 20s or 1s. And as far as if you just want to give me straight up money, just straight up, just be like, yo, here's your money. You can do that through Streamlabs or Coffee for every $5 of I got distracted because there was a velociraptor yelling in my ears. It's my fault. I did this to myself.
I am so glad I can't hear that.
It's cute. I love dinosaur noises because that's who I am. So for every $5 that you give through Streamlabs, you can make something happen. and starting at 2 coffees on coffee, you can also just make something happen at my discretion, of course. Trying to think what happened. Rava, what's happened on here that people have paid for in our particular game? Because I can go off on other games.
No more geese.
I can't promise that there's not going to be more geese. I told the rest of this crew about the geese, and we've established that there will in fact be geese. Like, maybe not thousands of geese. Yes, a wall of geese has happened. On this channel, there was a character that just constantly lost his clothes. Look at all of those videos. Thank you so much. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Is that a reroll for everyone?
Yeah.
There we go. All right, that's a reroll for everyone,
including you.
Right, and
I did something nice for you.
Ah, man. I mean, technically I get paid every time you do that, so it's nice for me either way. Like,
oh, I need to give you more nat ones then. Okay.
It's true. It's fine. I get paid. So with that, we're going to who's that for? You can't give it to yourself. Like, you can't give it to yourself.
Why can't I pay money to give myself things?
Pay to win. If I can't give money to make myself win.
Okay, fine. I will give it to Gillian, since she was such an amazing duo in League of Legends the other day.
There you go. So, unless you're giving out like 5, 5 like Rava did. Like,
can't give myself things. What is this? I thought this was
yourself. Give it to yourself. Man, that is, nice try though. I appreciated it.
No problem.
So, for those of you who watched us last season or the season before, or even not, the world, as we're calling it, we don't have a name so much for the world, the continent, as we have called it, in the kingdom of Lurtima, had befallen itself to a dragon, and not just any dragon. This dragon goes by the name of Dree. She had been held captive beneath the kingdom of Latermia by her ex-boyfriend, who is a lich. Now, in order to somehow be with her forever, he was simping real hard. It was quite an abusive relationship on both of their parts. The only party member here that might recall this, but someone freed Dree about 26-ish years ago.
She said she was sorry.
And the thing is, sometimes lawful good characters have their own sense of justice that they must befall unto others, and Dree has decided that she will enact her own justice into the world, and essentially took over the country of Lurtima. And in season 2, we sort of were watching the party as they were navigate the beginning of essentially the end, maybe trying to stop it. The sort of like the area around the Great Avon Lake had pretty much been drained up and was this dragon's domain, which the reason she's able to have gotten so powerful is through an artifact that belonged to Tiamat ages ago, called the DragonStone. Was able to sort of transform herself into practically demigod status. She's like this strange mixture of a Shadowfell dragon as well as a golden dragon. And for 3 of you, as far as you know, has 3 heads at this point. So she's got dominion over part of this continent, which you all know now as Drachengut, which, just in German, just means dragon domain. If I pronounce that right, Germans, I'm sorry. I'm French. So, with that, the previous party adventured, tried to help refugees, and on a mission to rescue a werewolf princess of the Trascan tribe, ended up getting whisked away into the Shadowfell, where they found themselves traveling through the Shadowfell, meeting parents that they weren't, that they thought were
Thrilled.
dead, and are still
We're
kind
thrilled
of
to see.
dead. Still kind of dead. They ended up finding a missing NPC that they had been thought was dead, that they were very happy to find, the young half-dragon by the name of Evan. And then ended up finding themselves wanted criminals, because the Shadowfell is what it is, but it is still a place of law. And, you know, sometimes murdering people in their own house is not okay. And that's what happened. They murdered a Shader Kai woman in her house because she had taken Evan into some indentured servitude for saving his life.
Hey, you can't blame Robert for that. She didn't want to.
I'm not blaming Rava for that.
She was
However,
the only one.
you were associated with the people that did. So,
Damn it.
found yourself wanted people.
You have to pay for your friends' crimes.
Yeah, found, and as a way of getting out, you were able to make contact with a lich, the same lich that entrapped the dragon, who was like, hey, I can help get you out, but you have to do it during this, essentially this tournament that's being fought in the Shadowfell. And so the four of you entered into a tournament, and at the end of that, sort of, as the beholder came into view of here, you heard a maniacal laugh as your tiefling friend, Typhicles Morris, had taken from you a ring that sealed an archdevil inside of it. And he put it on. And that's where we left off. Like, he just, like, WWE'd that ring. And that is where we left off last time. Rava, you watch as you're, one, surrounded by a wall of geese. So it's very loud. As your so-called friend from before lifts his hand and puts on Lilith, and you sort of hear that echoing, billowing laughter that starts as Ty, but then changes into a more sinister, feminine voice. And from the ring, and you sort of see over his shoulder the Lich with his big orange kitty familiar, because he loves orange cats. Sort of like applauding, like super happy, like his plan had worked. And then there is this blind flashing light. And you hate sunlight. So it is the brightest light that you have ever seen.
Rava probably has to buckle over and might potentially hurt her ankles because her shoes are really heavy.
That's right. You buckle over. Your feet are fine. Maybe a little twist, but you're sort of able to get your bearing straight. And you sort of find yourself in this almost dream-like sequence where you're traveling through. The best way I can describe this is at the end of Final Fantasy VII when you're Cloud going through the live stream. Just tunneling through, very similar to how, like, you arrived in the Shadowfell. And you come to, it takes a while for you to come to, but you can smell salt, you're damp, and you feel someone shaking your body, begging you to wake up.
What?
Sorry, Rava.
Everything hurts.
And you So like maybe you open your eyes, kind of fall onto your back. It is a very, very cloudy sort of Pacific Northwestern um, sort of weather. It's not raining, but you are on a beach. You can tell you're on the ocean, and you look up and you see Evan. You're the half dragon that was with you in the arena. Sort of with a very worried look on his 17-year-old face, like he is a teenager. He is baby, um, and is like, oh, thank God you're alive. Oh man.
Rava's gonna look around and be like, did we kill the beholder?
I don't think so, but I mean, it's looking around, but I don't think we're in the Shadowfell anymore.
I mean, I don't think so. Rava's just gonna like pat herself down, make sure she has everything. Check on Beatrix first. Make sure she has her bow.
Your gun is there.
Beatrix. She's gonna take the gun out and try to pour the water out of it and check it.
Yeah, roll me an investigation on it. You don't hear any sexy French lady voice coming out of it. As you sort of like look it over, it is still a functioning weapon. But that's sort of like where her eye was that would open on the chamber is no longer there.
Rava's trying not to look as worried as she is, but she is worried.
Do you want to roll a deception for that? Because you have a very concerned, tentative teenage half dragon just
I mean,
next to you. Like, oh, okay. Not bad for someone with like no charisma. Like, oh man, let's see what Evan can roll for us on his insight real quick. Because he has a plus 13. God damn it. Yeah, he notices he's got fucking rogues. He's definitely notices that you have a worried look on your face, but also notices that you're trying to hide it. And he sort of reaches out and he like touches your forearm, and he's like, I woke up almost a mile down the beach, and I wandered here and I found you. I didn't see anyone else.
And Brava can tell that it is Beatrix's gun, right?
Yeah, it's the same gun.
She's just gonna hold it up and like so that the where the eye was, and just be like, Beatrix isn't here.
He just kind of pauses for a second. He's like, I don't know what that means.
I would talk to the gun. Remember how I would talk to the gun?
Yeah, I just thought you were nuts.
No, there was a fiend inside the gun, and she is not here anymore.
You just kept it at your hip? You just kept the talking fiendish weapon with you?
I mean, yes.
Okay. And the ring, what was that about?
There was an archdevil in that.
And you just kept that with you?
We're looking for a way to... we had to put it somewhere, but we also couldn't just leave it somewhere because it was actively being looked for. And we're going to use... There were multiple weapons like this one, and we were going to use them against Dre.
Right. Okay. Well, we're on a beach. We have no idea what beach we're on. where we are, but I guess we should keep walking.
I guess. As they walk, can Rava roll survival to sort of
Yeah, you
figure
trying
out?
to find directions?
Yeah, and sort of where they are. I don't know if there's like something about
Okay,
where the sun is or the stars when
gotcha.
if it's
Gotcha.
not, just sort of
Yeah, go ahead and roll survival for me.
15.
All right, so with a 15, the weather, first of all, is very similar to Mediterranean climate, we'll just say. Maybe during the spring. And you know that the ocean is to the north of you. So you know you're not necessarily in Latermia itself, because if the ocean was north of you in Latermia, it'd be a little bit colder. You would also probably see higher mountain ranges. So you're not in the country that you came from, essentially. But you get the feeling, at the very least, you're on a material plane.
Of course. Of course, we're really far from where we were, of course.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Let's begin moving then.
Okay.
We sort of move along the beach area. We're bound to find something.
Sure, I can, do you want me to fly above you and just get a vantage point?
Right, yes. I don't have the cloak anymore. Yes, please. Thank you.
Okay. So Evan will take to the sky and he will, like, fly above you. He has a little bit extra movement. But you guys have similar movement even when he's flying, just because I think Moonsucker gives you extra movement or something. Or Rogue or something like that. But he keeps pace with you. It's just more for a vantage point. As we leave the two of you on this unknown beach, we cut to what you can call a city, in the same way that a town seat is considered a city in a county. I don't know where everyone lives. I'm thinking like Bastrop, Texas. Like, it's a city technically, but there's no, wow, OBS, could you behave yourself? There's no, yelling at OBS, sorry. There's no, tall, prominent buildings. This city by the name of Abatona actually used to be mostly ruins, and there are some leftovers in those ruins, and this city, for the past 20-ish years or so, has been a safe haven for refugees of the Terma, that have sailed south walked south, during Dree essentially taking over a good third of this continent. And in Abatona, there is not necessarily a ruler or a king, as that is being disputed on who sort of has the bloodline rights to sort of rule over this refugee sort of town. There is an argument that there is a young werewolf prince who is also a human prince, and like a combination of nations that sort of deserves it. There are some people who were originally settled here from the neighboring empire that also moved. It's a mishmash of people that have been displaced for 20 years that have settled in these old ruins, and has sort of built it up. The three of you, Malik, Fleece, and Thora, have sort of lived here a good portion of your adult lives for the most part. how you came to be here. You were in service of this council. Very specifically, you were in service to sort of the head of the council. Her name is Joanne Dutera. She is the former princess of Latermia. She did not have a right to the throne because she was a female, but any of her male children could have had that, and that was a dispute 20 something years ago. She had a child out of wedlock with a werewolf, and that's part of the dispute. However, she is sort of head of this council and sort of leading it in like a queen mother sort of thing. And you were essentially being summoned, as you would whenever something of high adventure needs are met, and you are being summoned to the council chambers. And I sort of want to go around the table and, one, describe yourselves, like how you physically look, like your demeanor, and also sort of tell the audience and the rest of us how you sort of came into service of this council um, that sort of serves like the displaced people of like the mismatch of these displaced peoples of this continent. And we'll just go around the table and start like how we did with intro. So Fleece, you're up first, fam.
So Fleece is a, I guess, well endowed individual with physical manifestations cut from rock. He does not wear a shirt, but he carries a shepherd's crook as well as a shield on his back. He is always smiling with kind of goat like eyes and a giant fleece afro with his little sheep horns poking out of it. He always has a charming smile that sparkles. He says hello with kind of a little like chest bump. Kind of see the pecs move every now and then as he's communicating. Um, he came into service because he thought this whole women can't lead is some bullshit. And he intends to be a huge ally and disrupt and possibly burn the patriarchy in all of its pervasive ways as gently as possible. He also makes good scrambled eggs, so he kind of does that every now and then.
I do enjoy good eggs. So, from what I'm understanding, you probably befriended somehow this former princess, now councilwoman. And she's like, yo, I like you. Because she's a ranger, so of course she loves fluffy things. Um, and is like, you're going to be a part of my inner circle. Help me watch over my small monster child and all that other good stuff. Okay, cool.
So begins the fluffy squad.
So
Let's do this.
Yes, we will even say her son Rybeard considers you the best of friends.
Oh, I would totally watch this young child.
Who's 25 years old now, but is the best of friends with you.
Such a young child.
Such a young good boy. So Malik, what about you, friend?
So Malik is an interesting individual to look at, considering his particular mixed heritage. He stands close to 7 feet tall, 6'10". Delicate elven features that adorn a leanly muscled frame. He has blue-green skin that in places seems slightly purple and is adorned with glowing tattoos that sort of shimmer with a soft teal and gold light. Wears a sleeveless purple and black robe with leather boots and a long cloak that sort of typically he'll have sort of draped around his shoulders, though occasionally he'll shrug it behind his shoulders properly. He has on his wrists all manner of leather and jewel and metal, sort of like just a random assortment of things all over his wrists and up his arms, just that don't really seem to serve any real purpose. Some of which even have additional like pouches on them. Um, uh, 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 thick and coarse black hair pulled back into locks that hang down his back. Though two of the locks on the right from his right temple back are shock white, and he's got sort of keenly piercing red eyes. Um, and he's here because his dad's here. He and his father came south as things started to go progressively worse up north. And his father Alton Sarnai serves basically as a wizard in the area, and so because his father does, as he grew older, he also does. He's 23, so he's younger than the prince, um, and is just this big awkward nerd with too much muscle in the wrong places.
I would even say that your father, Alton Sinai, would be on the council, being a fairly powerful wizard with a lot of knowledge, probably one of the few high intense magic users left, sort of in the area, that he would be a part of this council, if not as like a direct advisor to everyone, but definitely has some sway here. Cool. So, and last but not least, Thora. Thora, please describe how you look and how did you come into service of this council?
S- Uh, so Thora would stand at about like 5'8", 5'9" ish. She has she has this long gray hair, pale skin, but her
Mm-hmm.
eyes are very much quite like an iridescent silver.
Mm-hmm.
And she wears this sort of like adventuring kind of dress kind of thing with some blue and gray that kind of just matches her look entirely.
Mm-hmm.
Her whole demeanor is more holy and also at the same time very brewing, as if like a sailor can sense the brewing of a very severe thunderstorm coming into the midst. The reasons that she's here is because like she's been wandering around for a little bit. She doesn't really know how she came to this land or anything,
Mm-hmm.
but she sensed through sometimes storms give her visions. She has seen this town. She's seen the councilwoman. She feels that something will happen. And so she just wandered into town and asked and saw the woman and said, I saw you, but I don't know why.
I imagine that that was an interesting exchange. About how long ago was that?
I would say that was about 2 years ago.
About 2 years ago, you just approached this woman in her 50s. Um, I saw
I,
you in a dream. And
I
she's
saw you
like,
at I saw you.
okay.
I I don't know why, but something will happen. I don't know when, but it will happen.
Um, Not one to overlook omens in her life, you somehow have convinced this woman that you're not completely insane.
Yeah.
And it might have taken a while. Her bodyguard um, is can be very protective of her, um, but it is definitely you have managed to win her trust somehow. We'll say
Somehow, I don't know.
somehow. Um, and maybe her son convinced her, maybe her advisors convinced her, maybe her husband convinced her, someone convinced. It's like, hey, I think this is important. Plus, she uses magic, and we could use more of that. So, as the three of you sort of intervene into a foyer of this building, it's a newish building, probably 15 years old, that has been built very specifically um, to have council in the same way that a like chambers for parliament would, just with less seats. You guys are sort of there. You see each other. You interact.
Just almost subconsciously out of habit upon seeing other people. Malik reaches over with to his left wrist where there's a leather band with a bit of metal on it that has some etching. Runs his middle finger around the circle on it and just mutters Armura. And there's a light sort of blue shimmer that sort of flashes across his body and then disappears. Just almost like he's not even thinking about it as he does it. And then, hello. How's everyone doing?
Fine, but it seems like this kind of nervous thing you do where you create some sort of barrier between yourself and everyone else the moment you see someone. It sounds like some emotional or maybe possible some trauma you might have experienced in the past. I do hope throughout our journeys that shield can come down and you'll allow me to wrap my fuzzy arms around you and, well, we can hug if it pleases you.
No.
I understand, but I'm here for you nonetheless. If you need to talk, friend of some sort.
Leans further back against the wall.
Come
And
now,
you,
please.
Thora,
You-
Storm Child. we gonna hug it out, or is it?
Okay, this once today. We'll hug it out. We'll hug it.
Oh,
Okay, too
yeah.
tight, too tight. Thank you.
Ah.
I am here for this wholesome content.
We are wholesome children.
You are.
Well, you two look lovely today.
Why?
So, does anyone know why we're here?
I have no clue myself.
Cool.
I would thought one of you two would have known.
I'm sure it's the beginning of something beautiful, though. It's always good to maintain a positive outlook.
Well, these times are a little trying, so anything that gives hope to the people would be good.
Honestly, as long as we're together, there's nothing we can't do.
Do you like read this from a book somewhere, or is this all coming off the top of your head?
It's kind of on the back of several, I guess, cereal-like substances I enjoy in the morning next to my scrambled eggs, a bit of toast, honey. Honestly, people need to eat more sweet things because you can't help but be sweet when you eat sweet.
Right. This is how most of Malik's conversations go. He'll say right and then just trail off.
In any case, shall we meet the unknown together, hand in hand?
I guess, please. I guess.
Are you gonna hold Lisa's hand as you go down the hallway of this?
Thori knows that she doesn't really have a choice in this, and she'll just hesitantly take it.
You have a choice. What is this? Boundaries, and everyone has respect.
I just
and
walk
the way
off ahead of them.
Want to be? Oh, there he goes. All right, Storm Child, away we go. It's time for an adventure, and we should be there to
guess
support
so.
Malik.
All right.
All right. As y'all sort of walk down this hall, it's not a very long hall, but before you kind of sort of get to the sort of like the doors where you would go into the room where a council meets, they swing open, and you are bombarded with the yips and yowls of a litter of wolf pups as they just sort of run out of this room. Followed
just locks up.
they just sort of surround you, followed by a gnome, and you know this gnome as Kevin. You don't know what Kevin does at the council, but you do know that all of these babies are his brothers. Puppies.
Kevin,
he's
may
just-
I pet these beautiful
Oh,
creatures.
and he sort of like looks at you, and he's got like bloodshot eyes because he just hasn't slept in a while.
Oh
He's
dear.
like, yeah, I didn't. They got into the council room and they just started walking, and like
Kevin.
Patrick is in here to help, and I don't
Yeah, Kevin,
understand.
breathe. It's okay.
It's,
Did
it's
you
okay,
did you
Kevin.
want us to take over for a while? If you want like a night of sleeping, maybe go out on a date or out on the town, we would love to
9
support
long
you in
months
this
and
endeavor and take
dice.
care of these little
3.
cute fluffy things.
I haven't been out on a date in 100 years.
Oh, well, it is never too late to do so.
Well, as much as I would like that to happen, I'm not the one that summoned you. But
Oh, that's unfortunate. I was really looking forward to this.
I have to get all of these children to bed so that I can make my routes. And it sort of comes now into your fruition through whatever passive insight that you have. Is sometimes Kevin is a mailman. Sometimes. Sometimes he's also a tour guide.
He has other jobs.
A Renaissance man.
He's a gnome. They live a long time. He's had a lot of jobs. But today apparently it's mailman, and he's like, I just have to find Patrick, and everything will be okay.
Well,
and
I hope
you
you
all
find
know Patrick is his brother, who is a wolf, not a werewolf.
a wolf.
A wolf, because he was in fact raised by wolves. So
Kevin, make sure to take care of yourself, okay?
I'm trying very, very hard, and like the puppies are just everywhere, and there's like 8 of them, and they're so happy to like see all of you.
Did you need a hug?
He's like, of course I need a hug, especially from you, Fleece,
Yeah.
and he just like
Come
holds
here.
his arms up at
Yes.
you.
Oh, this is so
Hey,
sweet.
And he just like puts his little gnome head on top of your
Shh,
fleece
shh, shh.
afro, and then for some reason, and he just like sniffs it in and breathes it out, and just like,
It's a new shampoo.
oh, it's
Lovely.
coconut and lavender.
It is. Yeah.
And at that moment, he perks up, and he stiffens up, and he looks at you, and he's like, "It's what I needed. Thank you. You can put me down now."
Of course.
And you put him down, and he's like, "Children!" And all of a sudden, like, you just recognize this as a really well-made animal handling check. They just all like line up like the wolves, and he starts to like lecture them. And you sort of take this as your hint of like, the door is open, maybe you should go inside.
Immediately
This is your
through the
chance to
door.
express.
But there's puppies here.
There's also-
Immediately through the
there-
door.
There are puppies
Around the
standing at
corner.
attention. Like,
Kevin, you are a hero, and I want to be like you when I grow up.
likewise, buddy. Likewise.
Come, Stormchild. Our adventure awaits.
All right, let's go.
Wholesome
On the other
paladins.
side of the door, Malik just like turns the corner, leans against the wall, and lets out the breath he's been holding for the past minute.
There's like a head tilt from Councilwoman Joe, as you know her. As you sort of like walk in and take this breath, and she goes, the puppies.
Yeah.
Do you have an allergy?
No, just a lot.
Gotcha.
Takes a minute to center himself.
And the other 2 of you, our Stormchild and our sheep person, walk in. And also within the chambers, you have Councilwoman Joanna. She's a woman of probably about, she's not as old as you think someone would be for having a 25-year-old, because she was only 20 when she gave birth to her son. So that would make her 45 years old, about, if I'm doing my math correct. So she's probably between 45 and 50 years old. She has dark black hair with like this white skunk streak, like this gray streak that is just a single strip of white hair. that has sort of grayed out in her middle age. Very, very athletic, very healthy. She is an adventuring type woman because she uh, she despite being a princess, she's a ranger, and she look at all of these subs that I'm getting, guys. Thank you. That is both silent and lich. Just tell me where those gnats are going, please, whenever you get a chance to add those. They so and she is dressed probably not fancily like someone you would expect like a princess to dress as, even at her age. Like, she's very practical. She loves the color blue. So no, there's no party pool. She loves the color blue, so she dresses in like blues and like grayish blues to match like the ocean and the sky, since you guys are on an ocean town essentially. So also in is her bodyguard, which y'all know as Sir Strothel. He is a little bit younger than her, also in his 40s, a little bit younger than her. He has known her since he was a teenager, probably since he was like 16 years old, and he came from like a small fishing town, from no one, very, very beyond his years at this point. He's missing an eye. So he has like a patch on it. He's got this straggly, brown hair, a beard. He's a human. Like, they're both human. And has essentially been at her side pretty much for the past 25 years, assisting her. That kind of stuff is her numero uno. That's not her husband. Her husband is not there. The other person that's there is your dad, Malik. So if you actually want to describe your dad, you can do that real quick.
Alton Sarnai stands at where Malik is tall at 6'10". Alton Sarnai is absolutely massive, being a full-blooded orc, standing at about 8'3", and is as wide as two Maliks put together. Where Malik is lean, he is broad. Sort of dark forest green skin, a big bushy beard from which two pointed tusks come out. Similar black hair that is very coarse and drawn back into locks. Unlike Malik's, his doesn't have any white; it's all black and just hanging down. Red eyes, fairly stern face. Though he's not, he isn't. He's an Alton Sarnai is an inquisitive mind. He likes to. He's very curious. He likes to find the root of things and find answers to questions. So he looks very stern, but he isn't really.
Right.
And he's wearing just very nice robes and a cloak.
Y'all would all know better that as stern as this man looks, he's probably as mentally soft as Fleece is physically. So he is a good dad, we will say, and he like greets you. You are his son. Like, he gives you a good fatherly nod, knowing that you're not the touchy-feely type, and respects your boundaries with that. And the last person that is in here, you know her as Ophelia. She was a minor noble in Latermia, who adventured previously. It was actually part of the whole "we're giving a stone to a dragon" party. You know her as an Azamar, like, she is descendant from angels. And she has sort of been also like on this council as one of the few like actual like nobles left from that country. So there's the four of them. Pretty small. There are other members of this council, but these are the four that you are here with today. And as the three of you enter, Joe will sort of motion for you all to please sit at this large table. There are already snacks. And wine, if you so, or water, if you so please. Hot water, because they had boiled it to save you from germs.
Drink the wine.
Fleece will go around and kind of hand out some parsley to everyone. Say, I picked this from my garden out back. It's not much, but I think it might prove tasty at one point in time. Good morning. You look beautiful today.
Who do you say that to? All of them?
Yeah, all of them.
Okay.
As he puts like a
Oh.
little pouch of parsley in front of him, like
Oh.
enjoy.
Joe takes the compliment. Ophelia takes the compliment. You know what? Alton Sardai also kind of takes the compliment just fine. And Lash will respond. Sir Stratho will respond. Thanks. I don't feel beautiful today.
Oh.
That's why I say it. And I think people often need to be reminded just how beautiful they are. And I tell you, when I look in your eyes, it's not your physical presence which inspires such beauty, but the soul. I know that it's just beyond those eyes. Did you want a hug?
Sure. Thanks, Fleece.
Yeah,
And he like
no
gets
problem.
up and he hugs you, and he is
Aw.
he's definitely not as thick as you are. But he is a strong man. He is a fighter. Just sort of for reference, he is a rogue fighter subclass, so he's a very like lithe person. As when it comes to like his ability, you know that he wields this spear that he is magically bonded to, called Gay Beauty, that just like returns to him on a whim kind of thing. It's a very cool trick he can do with it. Um, and yeah, so he gives you a hug. This is a man that has lost almost everything important to him. So whenever people hug him, it makes him very happy. He is a very, very soft man inside.
Yeah, Fleece has like
Aw.
some tears going down his eyes, like,
Oh.
just sad you're having a bad day, buddy.
I'm just doing that thing
Thanks.
people that are socially awkward people do at parties where they have a glass of drink and they're just sort of trying their best to hide behind it while watching this.
Malik, you kind of see like your dad has like his hand over his face, but has like this smirk because it's not that like he's laughing at like this touching moment between these two beautiful masculine figures. He's laughing because he knows it makes you uncomfortable just a little bit. Like,
Fun fact: it makes you uncomfortable in multiple different ways
so
because these are both very attractive men, and Malik is attracted to men. It's like
yeah,
it's like
they're
a public
beautiful,
setting.
like both of them. So the after the hugging ensues, Fleece, and you take your seat next to your friends. Joe thanks you for coming on such a short notice because y'all probably had just gotten back like days ago. You had to handle a Knoll warband that was out there or something, some very valiant things. However, you are once again needed as they are short-staffed on adventurers since there was another party sort of left with her husband Nylock, who is sort of like the former chief of this werewolf tribe. Went to travel north into the Fey Waste of this continent to get to essentially where a lone band of remaining refugees of dwarves and orcs have like banded together up there to sort of like fight off the dominion and the forces of this dragon. And they've sort of gone to like Lin aid there, so they're a little bit short staffed here, and so that's why, despite you just getting back, they're gonna need you to do something else, and I will tell you that after I pee. Uh, so I pee a lot. We've been here an hour, and I have had tea. So like, I'm gonna run an ad that will not last as long as I am peeing, but feel free to talk and roleplay amongst yourselves. As you know what, I'm not even gonna roll ad because I can't. I'm on the wrong page for it. But I will be right back.
So, Malik, Stormchild.
I love all these characters. I just want to say.
I love
I love them so much. Rava's going to hate all of you at first.
I love being the large person that is super socially anxious. Just like this massive person that's hiding behind a tiny cup.
Nora's also supposed to be very, very awkward because she has no idea how she got here. She doesn't know where she is. So basically, she's just a confused child that has no idea what's happening.
Oh.
just a you're just a tumbleweed blowing through the sea.
Rava's probably going to be super depressed by the time she gets there. So
No,
Hugs.
poor
Hugs.
Rava.
I also like playing the gay straight man
Oh,
because
man.
I'm definitely the straight man to fleece. Just like, okay. Yeah, no. Malik is just sitting there with he has poured himself some wine and is drinking it slowly for the courage.
Fleeces probably has coffee that started out black and now it is gone all the way to milk white. Between creamer and sugar, it's almost a milkshake.
Yeah, Thora just has water. She's just
So
sipping some water and just
so
looking outside in case of an imminent storm.
so Fleece, how many boys did your milkshake bring to the yard?
Looking around, maybe 6,
Oh, yeah.
4, 5. I don't know.
some number of boys to the yard.
Some number of boys.
Okay, just getting the rewards sort of settled. I didn't hear back from Silent or Pope, but I went ahead and dispersed some natties to everyone. So check your sheets for just to check up on that. That is what you'll have. So
Nice.
you guys are sort of talking, convening, sort of catching up. I'm guessing at first, probably having some snacks, and Joe once again apologizes, and she's like, "There's been a sort of we're having reports of this magical anomaly along the coast, um, where it almost was if," and she sort of like breathes, "from the reports that some Shadowfell might have actually seeped in from the Vale. And one of the reasons that Dree has dominion over part of this continent is that she has sort of meshed a lot of the realms together. Like the Vale is unstable, and you would find this all very concerning because it means that the Vale is becoming unstable this far south.
I have, as she started describing it, I sort of flicked my wrist, and a long black quill just sort of popped out of nowhere into my hand, and I am just taking notes of everything she's saying.
Mm-hmm. It's not very far. It's I would say probably a half day's journey along the beach where this was sought. We got the reports from our scouts. I would like for the lot of you to go and investigate this more thoroughly to see if it's just a blip in the veil or if it's actually something we should be concerned about.
All right, we can go investigate that. I think we should be able to do that, right?
Yes. Do we know precisely where, or is it just generally along the beach?
Yeah, so I will just go ahead and put a little, since you guys have a map, I'm just gonna put a blue line. There you go.
Right there.
Right there. And you
Northeast of
are,
us.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And this terrain is, think of it as sort of like the coast of Northern California. As far as like the coast goes. So Pacific Northwest, but not quite like Oregon or Washington yet.
Would we know if there's any like settlements out that way, or how far away from here that is?
You are the furthest. No, there shouldn't be any settlements out there. You are like the closest settlement.
And how far away would that area be from where we're at?
She said a half day's journey.
Half day? Okay.
Yeah, along the beach.
Should we leave now then? I can return to my home and get my fanny pack ready, and we'll be out by the end of the night.
You have a fanny pack. I'm glad you are enjoying last year's Yuletide gift.
Well, thank you. I treasure it every day.
Yeah, it's...
The quill stops.
Are you okay?
Oh my god.
She's not okay. Yeah, like you received this fanny pack from the councilwoman herself. It's got some embroidery on it that she might have done herself, as being such a wonderful service of like the not necessarily like her coat of arms, but it's like this combination of like the new coat of arms she sort of made for her family, because like she's like the last member of this family, combined with like her husband's tribe. So she's like created like this new like, it's like an iris with like wolf ears or something. I don't know. It's a work in progress for her. She's not a designer.
Yeah.
So she tried very hard, and it's very practical.
Quick question.
Mm-hmm.
Something I should have asked before, and I completely forgot
go
to.
ahead.
I have teleportation circle, and when you take teleportation circle, you get to specific locations it goes to.
Hey, I also have teleportation.
Hey!
Uh-huh.
Where would those go to? Would I know where those go to?
Your teleportation circles. Well, you probably don't have. Thank you, Funky Baba Ganoush, for that host. You probably don't have one on the beach itself. You have probably one in your own house. So, or we'll even say that there's a teleportation circle here in the council. And you probably have one in the city of, it's not a city, Dawn, which is more of like a former city turned like border patrol barracks.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, Abotona Council Building and Dawn Outpost.
Yeah.
Got it. Have I ever been to this beach?
Yeah, you probably walked along it several times.
Okay, cool. Then, if we want to get there swiftly, I can do that. We just need to get out all of our things together. And we can go.
Well, that's excellent. There's a quaint little, almost sort of like breakfast brunch place a couple of blocks from where I live. Maybe we can meet there in about an hour and a half.
Sure.
Excellent. And of course, council members, you are all welcome to brunch.
Oh, why, thank you so much, Fleece. We do have some work, and as you can see, we have been provided. We actually catered from that place this morning.
Wow.
Yes, it is. We support our local and small businesses here in Abotona.
That's amazing.
As you are dismissed and possibly dispersed, are y'all? Is anyone traveling together? Do you have anything left to say to one another before you go? What's going on? Go ahead, John.
I don't know. Then I'll see the two of you there in an hour, and very quickly leaves on his own.
Alec, good luck. Remember to bedroll, some kindling, everything you need, and you just kind of ramble as you head out.
Okay.
Yeah, she's just gonna. Yeah, Thor's just gonna go get her stuff and then meet up, I guess. She just kind of just slowly just walks out.
Oh, hold on, Stormchild.
What? Yes.
In the process of knitting together these tiny little wool capes. Would you like me to bring an extra one for you?
Um. Sure, but I may be fine. If it starts to rain on the way there, I can make sure that we don't get soaked.
Oh, well, okay. Also, remember to bring your bathing suit. I think this will be a great opportunity to enjoy the beach while we're there. There's no reason for us to just make it all work.
Oh, all right then. Okay. Okay.
All right. Well, I am saddened that you will be gone for such a long period, but I look forward to our adventure together. See
All
you
right.
then, Storm Child.
See you then, please.
Are you okay?
I'm okay.
Are you okay?
And he will gallop towards his house, his little hovel.
Question is whether or
My
not this
God.
is Flora or Jillian laughing.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
All of it.
This is just too wholesome.
It hurts my eyes. Ah.
Guys, stop being so funny. I need to be sad so Rava can be sad, please.
So, um, go ahead, Rava, just roll me a d3, because I'm going to see who this is going to, and since you're not technically here yet, I'm going to let you roll the d3 for me, please. Cool, perfect, fleece. You are back to your house, gathering your things, your pack. You may or may not be back, that night, depending on how everything goes. So you're probably packing a couple of days, just in case, right? You you get your pally sense sort of starts to tingle a bit.
Yeah, and his pally sense is literally just one of his wool hairs like falling down in front of his face, and he's like,
Yeah.
he kind of looks around, makes sure to button his fanny pack so it doesn't spill out his snacks for the trip.
Mm-hmm.
Hello?
Describe to me how like your house looks and like your garden and all of that. Like describe to me how that looks.
Yeah, he has a nice little tiny home. It's no more than like 5 by 5, with a kitchen outside next to his garden where he has several kind of spices and stuff that he's trying to cultivate. He doesn't really have a green thumb, but he is tenacious, and he will keep those motherfuckers alive as best as he can. He doesn't have a door. He prefers that people be allowed to come in and out and possibly to sleep on his bunk bed. He calls the top bunk. Anyone else can have the bottom. And then if someone does need the top bunk, he will sleep on the floor. So there's a little padding underneath the bottom bunk. Other than that, he has drawings and kind of compliments throughout the household on parchment that just say, "You have a wonderful day." He has a lot of flowers and bright paint in the place. It's all very kind of chaotic and a very beautiful rainbow glittery sense.
Did you write all this out, or are you pulling this off the top of your head right now?
It's just that I'm talking about it. It's a house I've always wanted.
Fair. So as you kind of look around and you're palling, you go hello, and you're probably, let's say you're standing kind of in your little kitchen and your window over your sink that just goes and looks at your flower garden and at your daisies. As you sort of say that,
Can Rava pass without a trace and roll stealth?
no, you're not there. As this sort of happens, you see the ground of your garden where your daisies are growing sort of seep this dark weave just sort of coming out of the ground, almost like very wispy, and you see the ground start to rise, and then all of a sudden just not like I want to say explodes, but it's not like explosion. Erupts. We'll say erupts. Erupting out of the ground in like this little fit of wispy shadows. You see a woman coming, like she's coming up for air, like fuck me, and she has like this long red hair. She is naked. She has long red hair, little tiny wings on her back, and like these devilish horns, very similar to goat horns. Um, just like, and she is looking around incredibly distraught and confused.
Yeah, he grabs his longest cape, which is really just like 3 feet, wool, and he comes out. He's like, "Sorry, here. Did you need anything? I have milk. I have cookies. Did you want vegetables? Are you okay? This is such a dreadful thing to have happened to you. You seem surprised. My name is
Oh goodness,
Fleece.
I am quite surprised. Who are you? Where am I? Why? I have hands.
You do have hands. I also have hands.
No, you don't understand. I am not supposed to have hands.
Why are you not supposed to?
She like stands up and like the cape just flies off. She has no issue being naked.
Okay, that's
like,
fine. I will.
And you just see her kind of like stretch out, and her little wings just grow a little bit more. And go ahead and roll me Arcana. You're a paladin. You have advantage.
I take 20.
You're
I
just
use
gonna
my-
straight up use the nat 20. It's like, okay, well, is your Arcana that bad?
Not everyone can have my +10 to Arcana.
It's true.
Yeah.
As
Okay,
I
what do I
say-
have?
Yeah.
I have a +8. So.
Yeah, we'll say with your nat 20 that you so gracefully already edited for me. Thank you. No, I just seriously thank you.
No problem.
With that nat 20, this is a succubus.
Oh. Well, my name is Fleece. I am a paladin of the Oath of
Mhm.
Redemption.
She does
I
what? Yes.
have a bunk bed. This is a very difficult conversation for me. Partially, I mean, mostly you are a very attractive woman.
Yes, I know.
And you are a very attractive woman. Would you like some clothes? Understandable if you don't want any, though I believe this society mostly approves of said clothing. Not that I am someone who believes you should have to wear something because men feel like you should. But I just want you to give you the option and present you all the information that I have.
She leans in
It's
next
so
to you.
wholesome.
Leans in next to you just so that her naked body does not touch you, but almost, just leaving millimeters of flesh against flesh.
He's
And she
like
goes,
sweating.
I have not eaten food in 40 years.
Oh my God. There is a place a couple of blocks down the street. I tell you what, why don't we get together? All right. I have a lovely outfit that I have prepared just for such an occasion.
Do
I
you
can-
normally have women pushing daisies in your garden?
No, I just, if there is an unexpected visitor who would like brunch, that is the outfit that I have planned.
Oh, don't
We
worry
can-
about this, honey. I've got this. And she will like prestidigitation clothes on herself.
Wow.
And
that
by
is-
clothes, she has pasties and a chainmail skirt.
You...
I've seen this person in Atlanta. Hang on.
Usually during Dragon Con.
No, not even then. Just down a little 5.
There you go. And
Oh my
and
God.
and then thigh high leather boots, and she's like, I've got my brunch outfits. This is still the style amongst young women, correct? Oh, I should probably. And she the horns just sort of suppress themselves, and her wings tuck in, and she just kind of looks more tieflingish than she would a succubus.
I hope it's okay, but I find you both powerful and attractive.
Of course it's okay. That's my natural state.
Excellent. Oh, okay. Well, Let's go have brunch. I pretty much have. I'm on a journey. Of course, this hovel is yours to use as you wish.
You
My
were
name
just
is.
giving me this house. I come back to the material plane in my full glory, and you were already giving me a house. It's just
Well,
like I remember it.
well, not give. It's more so. This is kind of a commune where I allow individuals who need a place to stay to stay. That's why there's no door.
Police runs the hostel.
Yes. In any case, I'm about to go on an adventure. You are always welcome to come. I think that would be fun. I have a friend
Thank you for
named.
giving me permission.
Of course. I think it would be a lovely time. My two friends, Malik, who is a charming young individual, truly a joy to be around. And then there is Stormchild, also known as Thora. She is fierce and wonderful. I think you will find their companies as riveting as I find yours.
Yes, and I will tell you my story after I have calories.
Excellent. Oh, what is your name? I am Fleece.
Oh, you may call me Beatrix.
Beatrix. What a lovely name.
Thank
All
you.
right. I have my fanny pack. I have my little cape. I have my shield and my shepherd's crook. Away to brunch.
Away to brunch, thank you.
Away to brunch. And he'll kind of hold out his hand like,
Oh, she takes it.
yeah.
Just like she belongs here. She just straight up takes it. She has no issue whatsoever taking your arm and being led to brunch. Where Thora and Malik, I am assuming you were both waiting.
Yeah.
Not necessarily at brunch. You're just waiting to go, maybe having a cup of coffee.
Yeah, just sort of standing around waiting. I now have a barred eagle owl on my shoulder.
Okay.
Like that was the thing he went to get.
Oh, he went to get his burb. So
It's just an angry looking black and white owl.
just so bad. Just like the owl from The Secret of Nim, I imagine. So
It actually looks like it looks kind of like the great owl from Legend of Zelda, but smaller and black instead of brown.
Gotcha.
That
Adore
thing
it.
is
I love it.
so scary, though.
I love
Yeah.
it though.
This one's small enough to fit on the shoulder, but that same sort of kind of angry look on the face.
Yeah. So the two of you are you outside or inside?
Outside.
I would say outside.
All right, y'all are outside, waiting for Fleece. No one ever mentioned that you were gonna eat here. Like you were just gonna meet here. So maybe you got a cup of coffee or tea. But you see Fleece join you with this woman, this red-ish, pinkish skinned woman. Oh no, we won't even say that. She is she has sort of like a reddish gray tone to her skin and bright red hair. So like a desaturated red. Sort of, if you went to the brightest red and like moved over the cursor in Photoshop to the gray, like it's just before it becomes not a color anymore. With pasties, a chainmail skirt, and thigh-high boots. Just meets you there.
And Fleece has a fanny pack.
And Fleece has a fanny pack.
He doesn't need to do it, but he does the mage armor casting again. Just like instantly. Like, this is bad.
Yeah. Hello, you must be Felice's friends.
Shorter or taller than me?
Shorter.
Okay. So just leaning back against the wall, looking down.
Yes. This is
Please.
Malik, the supreme,
The charming
and
one.
yes, exactly. And this is Stormchild. She can be mischievous, but she is amazing.
And there's like a moment where she just kind of looks at you, Thora, and she's like, and you kind of feel, Thora, this heat almost that's coming off her, that's seething just a little bit, and like almost like your body just starts to naturally radiate in response to this, and you're not quite sure what's going on. But you can make a check.
Okay, what can I make?
Go ahead and insight for me.
All right, I can do
Mhm.
that.
21.
21.
The only time that this has ever happened, because you are a descendant of angels, the only time that this has ever happened is when you are in the presence of a fiend.
I just feel this. I look over to Fleece and just be just like, so where did you meet your new friend here, Fleece?
She sprouted quite beautifully next to the tulips out behind my yard.
And that didn't cause you any concern?
By which a person chooses to travel, I leave that to them.
You worry me sometimes, Fleece. You worry me sometimes.
Oh, I worry about you too.
I heard that this was a place for brunch. Like, we were going for brunch.
Yes.
I have not eaten in about 30-something years. I am so hungry. I just would love the taste of crepes in my mouth again.
Oh, crepes
Butter
is
with
amazing here.
with a strawberry coulis. Oh my goodness,
I think we have to stop then.
Thank you so much. You are
Yes,
so
we're stopping for
brave and
brunch.
wonderful. Isn't he brave?
Thank you.
Fleece, we have a place that we need to be
Look,
rather urgently.
brunch. While we're having brunch, we go through our checklist to make sure we have all the items that we have, just to make sure. And then right afterwards, we ensure that we have hydrated, and then we are out on the road. Okay, self-care is very much a part of the
We're
process
not
of
going
this
to be out
journey.
on the road.
Oh yeah, you're going to be teleporting us. Well, the road to the teleportation circle.
Where are you all
It's
going?
it's not even a circle.
She's already sat down and like waved to like a waitress, like a server
like,
over, and is like going through the menu. Like it's like, oh, yeah, what time is it? Is it noon yet? You know what? It's not day drinking if it's mimosas. It's fine. Like, and just like is already like ordering for herself.
This is splendid. Join. We have the opportunity to meet a new person.
It's very kind of
Exchange
you to
ideals.
save this table outside for us on such a glorious cloudy day.
Fleece.
I guess so. Yes.
When somebody crawls up out of your garden, typically, particularly if you didn't put them there in the first place, it's a cause for concern.
Well, hold on. My belief is that there is no concern until evidence has been provided to cause concern. This person.
The evidence is crawling out of the garden.
That is a strange.
I do have a question, actually.
Yet not
I
bad
look
thing.
over to Beatrice and be like, so where did you pop out from exactly?
It's like
From someone's hip?
Huh?
What?
Well, the last thing I remember, I was attached to a girl's hip. We were in an arena. There was a lot of honking. Just surrounded by
Like
thousands and thousands of geese. It was so many geese. I am allergic to feathers, but I did not have a nose then, so it was fine.
Yes.
Then there was a blinding light. That stupid bitch was laughing, cackling like something happened. You know that's probably what's happened. If she was released, then I was probably released. But I started to breathe in dirt. Not good. You don't breathe in dirt. And I was like crawling, like ah! And finally, I popped out of the garden, and I realized that I was whole again. My body here, and she just like goes underneath her breast and does this little bouncy thing.
Looks away.
Like, oh, I'm so glad to see you both again. And is just so happy to just be in a body. And she's like, you know, I should probably look for that girl. She's worried. She was in love with me. But I can't do this until I have carbohydrates. Like,
Exactly. Self-care first, then the
Exactly.
journey.
Ugh. And I probably
So
need a nap because I also
Yeah, of course.
technically haven't slept
Oh,
in 30 years. You can't sleep when you're like trapped in an inanimate object. Your just consciousness just.
no. Feel
Oh.
so
free,
you were an
bunk bed.
object first. Did you? What kind of object would be at a hip?
A sword, maybe, in a sheath.
No, not quite. It might be. Do you know I? And she just like, oh, mimosas, and just starts to like avoiding the question at this point.
That's fair. I would take a coffee, cream and sugar. Let's go all the way to a kind of milky substance. That would be great, dear waitress. And of course, we will be tipping you over the assumed amount. I know it is tough, but thank you for working here today.
So, where are we anyway? Like, what city are we in? This is not one
I'm
I was familiar with.
I'm just staring off into the middle distance, contemplating if I can teleport just the three of us right now, or if Fleece would want to stay behind and thus not get teleported with us.
I'll explain. Be like, we're in Abutona. It's basically a ruined coastal town.
Oh, I remember I sieged that long ago. This is it now? When did it become such a cute little destination?
You,
Is-
pardon, sorry. Siege.
I think they've really focused on tourism within the last couple of years.
Ooh, yeah, absolutely. You know, I will. Well, since you already offered me your home, I guess I'll just be staying here for a while and
Of
exploring.
course, my casa, su casa, as they say
Ugh,
someplace.
you're a saint, my dear, dear floofy thing.
Of course.
Like completely not forgetting your name. Like, Malik, did you want to roll a history check?
Yeah, because sieged
Yeah.
sort of brings to mind.
Mhm.
Da, 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 22.
22. So maybe around 200 years ago, there is like a story or there's an epic written, right? Kind of like the Odyssey, um, that mentioned that some of great, uh, the generals of an archdevil by the name of Lilith, laid siege, um, during this, probably during like festival season. Like the way that it sort of happened was that the way that the city fell was everyone sort of went on a bender. Like think Mardi Gras in New Orleans, but for weeks, months, and everyone essentially ate, drank, and fucked themselves to death here. And that was done by a devil by the name of Beatrix and her brother by the name of Thibodeau were sort of the heads of that.
Did she introduce her name already?
Just the fleece.
No.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry. What did you say your name was?
Oh, my name is Beatrix. Thank you.
So I'm casting a spell.
Uh huh.
Pas Principatio.
Mhm.
And I'm targeting just myself, Fleece, and name Thora.
Thor.
I'm casting teleport. I am teleporting us to the beach, which is away from her.
um. Cool.
I have to roll a d100 to see how accurate I am.
Mhm.
I'm assuming this is a place I'm familiar with. That's why
you know
that's
how
why
to
I've
get
been
to the
there.
beach. Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll
Okay,
say
cool.
that there's like a pier or a dock on like the actual that leads to the coast, so that way it's mostly military because you go north and that's the Dragonstone at Maine. So but yeah, you can get there.
So we are we are a random distance away from that destination in a random where we're just off target.
Just off target. Okay.
So
So you don't land on the beach. You land in the ocean.
Oh. Oh God.
We'll say.
Oh God.
Luckily, like, you're just sort of, like, hit with, like, a wave of salt water as you just, like, it's waist deep, so you're not, like, far into the ocean.
It's just
but
flash of blue and then water.
Yes.
Oh man.
You just like you just hear just like Thor just yell, but she's just like splashing. I'm like,
Felice is gonna desperately try to keep like his crepe up in the air, like trying like, don't get salt on it. I'm not done.
It's not.
I was aiming for a dock.
what? Malik, what was that for?
I didn't pay my tab. I have a reputation to uphold. I don't want this waiter to assume that I've tried to not pay my bill. This is horrible.
I will explain when we're not
done
wet,
something so
and I
bad
start
in such a long time.
walking
This is
towards the
truly
beach.
evil of me to do.
Yeah, she's just
Lisa's
Thor's
having
just gonna
an existential crisis right now, Malik.
I am leaving him in the water. I'm walking towards
He's swimming, trying to keep his thing like.
Uh-oh.
Oh my God.
It's waist deep. You don't have to
I'm
swim.
sorry. It just.
I do like the idea that he's paddling in the water, though.
Thor's just gonna walk off. She doesn't really mind the water that much.
Yeah.
She does not mind whatsoever.
Sorry. Mira, and I cast Prestidigitation to dry myself and Thora off, and I'll dry Fleece off whenever he gets to the
Thank you.
He's kind of crawled onto the beach on his knees. He looks around, says, and drops his crepe. I don't deserve it. Oh my God! How am I going to pay? They will be worried. When will we be back?
In a few hours, when you can pay them then.
Oh my God! We should have left a note or something.
Sorry.
I don't even deserve this crepe.
It's just the person that you were so kindly talking to and offering your home to is the succubus who, with her brother, raped and pillaged this town 200 years ago.
That's we left that person in our favorite brunch place.
I'm trusting that if she does something again, people will do something about it because you weren't going to, and I'm not capable of it.
Well, everyone, there is a process by which we can rehabilitate this person if it is truly. I think there is goodness in her soul. I saw it with my own eyes.
You saw a pair of double Ds with pasties.
Look, I, as a paladin, have gone through much training to keep my eyes upon other eyes and not where it ventures to places it should not be.
Yes, but you have very distinctive pupils, and I could see them moving.
Yes, it's quite difficult. I did say that she was very beautiful, and I did find her attractive. I was trying very hard not to objectify her, and it is a process that I'm going through. But regardless, she deserves a chance of happiness just as anyone else does. Oh God, I have so many emotions right now. I think I'm gonna need to take like a 5-minute chill out.
You do that. Meanwhile, I look up and down the beach for any sort of sign of magical weirdness because we weren't given too many specifics.
All right, yeah, go ahead and roll perception for me, please. And what's that while he's doing that, Jillian?
I wanted to also like assist in some way with the perception check as well. I would assist.
Yeah, you can if you would like to. How do you imagine Thora is helping using the help action to assist Malik with perception.
Maybe she would just kind of like use her her tempestuous magic to like levitate her up in the air a little bit, just to take a closer look at the sky to see if there's like any like
And
tears or
maybe like
something.
pointing out somewhere that you should check out in that direction or sort of thing. Cool,
Yeah.
So yeah, Malik, you could roll perception with advantage if you'd
Cool.
like.
It's still not going to be good.
No,
Oh,
19.
19.
All right, so with a 19, and we'll say it's probably like 2 o'clock in the afternoon. You guys were at brunch, and that's like the end of brunch time. Like you're sort of looking onto the horizon, and as far, we'll say like you were, like the distance that you can see is probably about like 2-ish miles because it's an overcast day, but it's not like this beach is pretty flat. Like there's not a lot of mountains this close. Luckily they're a bit further south. But you're sort of like looking and squeaking, and the one thing that you can kind of get a very glimpse of is miles down in the sky, like a little sliver of silver. Like it just catches the sunlight oh so slightly.
Well, I don't see any like portals to the Shadowfell, so that's good. There is something flying over there, though. I say just pointing.
Yeah. It's probably about 2-ish miles from you. Yeah.
We should probably go check that out.
Probably. Give me just in case. Give me like 10 minutes. And I'm going to ritual cast detect magic.
Okay, cool. Alright, as you do that, I need to...
Just in case we're about to, walk over some sort of invisible rift that will just suck us into another dimension.
Absolutely. As you're doing that, taking that ritual casting for 10 minutes, we will switch scenes over to Rava. Rava, you are kind of walking on the beach, and you've been on the beach for some time. We will say you and Evan have been walking down this beach for a few hours. We'll even say maybe 4 or 5. And just as Evan is kind of starting to get like very tired, you sort of see him like perk up, and he like swoops down and lands next to you. And he is like, "Hey, I just saw some magic bullshit happen down the beach."
Well, oh boy. How far?
It looks like a couple miles.
Great. Hold on one second. Let's just... Well, it's something, I suppose.
How do we want to approach this?
Quietly, carefully. Is there any like... Is there like a tree line on the edge of the beach?
There is. Think of this as if you were on. I want to say LA.
I mean, there's shrubs.
Yeah, there's some shrubbery for sure. There's definitely shrubbery. And he will go ahead, and if you let him, he will cast invisibility on you.
She will absolutely let him, but I don't know how long it's gonna last.
An hour, or until
Really?
Yeah, invisibility is an hour. And he has to concentrate on it, so he can't do it on both of you. But he's shiny, because he's a half dragon.
I mean, if he's going to do this, she's gonna hold up her hand and say, "I can use Pass Without a Trace. You should cast invisibility on yourself."
Okay, and when we cross them up, we can see like if we should approach them.
You might be able to fly overhead while invisible and get a better look.
Okay.
Like Rava just takes this really deep and like she looks tense. She doesn't look well. In fact, like she's got a lot of the Shadowfell clinging to her still. It's she does not look very okay. The trip was very rough on her.
Yeah. Evan's not looking great himself, but his constitution is pretty good. So, even
This
some
is
of
not.
yeah. Yeah. All right.
Oh.
Cool. So you will cast Pass Without Trace.
Yeah, let me see how long it lasts.
An hour.
Okay.
Yeah. You will cast Pass Without Trace, and Evan will cast Invisibility, kind of giving you guys maybe like a heads up once you like approach this party.
Yeah, and Rava will stick to the side and sort of keep low and move quickly. Very quickly.
Yeah. And we will get back to that after I pee again. I told you, I pee a lot. Like, we're at the top of the hour. It's like once an hour here. We get there. So, discuss amongst yourselves what you're gonna do.
Well, it's fine because I can just do the other things I was going to do on my thing. So, after 10 minutes of sort of like sitting cross-legged in the sand, casting a spell, the spell ends with basically he's been sort of muttering under his breath, "Desvalue adivaru lumi," over and over again, and then eventually it's sort of like there's just a spark from the spell book and light flashes and nothing else happens. Right. Okay. And then also, and I'm going to use my quick ritual ability, which once per long rest I can cast a ritual spell for its regular speed without having to increase the time by 10 minutes. I'm going to quick ritual Rary's telepathic bond. So he reaches into a pouch on his hip, pulls out what looks like a broken like a half of an eggshell, breaks off a couple of chips of it, sticks one to his thumb, one to his pinky, and one to his right thumb, one to his right pinky, and then one to his left thumb. If you two could step over here for just a second. And he puts his hand up so that the eggshell touches each, like sort of one of yours left temple and one of your right temples, sticks it on, and it just sort of stays there as he pulls his hand back, uses his own thumb to touch the third piece to his own temple. Lega mintile. And as he says that, the eggshell disappears, and we are now able to speak to each other telepathically.
Hello, is this thing on?
Yes.
Hello?
Yes.
Ignore
Malik.
what I just hit. It was an accident.
Okay.
Malik, do you hear me?
Yes.
I'm in your head.
Yes, you are, and I'm in yours. So
Excellent. Stormchild, do you hear me?
Yes, I hear you, please. I do indeed hear you.
Excellent.
So just in case you see anything dangerous, you can warn us without having to yell it out.
Okay. All right.
That will be an instinct that'll be hard to repress. Stormchild, come here, and I shall bestow upon you the grace of my god.
Okay, sure.
In the name of the fluff. And he kind of just throws some of his afro hair at you. And you are now death warded for 8 hours. So if you ever drop below 0, you just go to 1.
Yay!
So, for your benefit, Val, I also cast Rary's telepathic bond, using my quick ritual ability to cast it as an action.
Yeah. I would like for Thora and Malik, since you guys were the ones that were perceiving, go ahead and make me another perception check, please.
All right, for both of us.
Yeah, both of you. Just both of you make a separate check for me, please.
All right.
I don't know how I'm getting such high numbers when I only have a +1.
Nice. No, don't complain. So,
16.
so Malik, like when you had saw that silver gleam, in the distance, and you had seen it kind of like swoop down to the beach. There, you were like watching it, like kind of watching these tiny little figure, like this little gleam, this little beam of sunlight, and it vanishes.
Well, whatever was shining stopped. I say telepathically
Mhm.
as I begin walking.
Yeah.
Yeah, Thor's just gonna keep walking as well.
And yeah,
Just
I'm
gonna.
just and I'm just scanning up and down the beach with detect magic to see if see if anything, because we were sent here
Yeah.
to see what was going on with the Shadowfell leaking in. So
Yeah,
seeing if
for
anything
sure.
pops up.
So this is how we're gonna do this. I'm gonna need you're doing detect magic. As you get within range, it takes you 3-ish miles. If you guys are going at a normal pace, probably takes you like an hour and a half to walk. But if y'all are both walking towards each other, it's probably not gonna take like longer than 45 minutes.
And Fleece is kind of like what was it? What was kind of a jolly? He's having a jolly walk through the waves, like
Yeah,
knee high.
Every
sure.
every 10 minutes or so, I'll have to recast it,
Mhm.
detect magic, but I'm doing it for free as a ritual.
Yeah.
So it's just like, hold on a second, re-up it, continue on.
As
So we're probably
you
moving slower than they are.
yeah, when you get into range, you will feel the presence of aberration magic.
So like as soon as it sort of picks on the
Like you ping
pings
that.
on the radar, yeah.
Mhm.
Hold up, everyone, mentally,
Mhm.
because very telepathic bond lasts for an hour. So.
Yep.
I'm picking up some sort of aberrant magic. Am I getting a direction, or is it just in the area?
Is it abjuration or aberration?
Abjuration. Yeah.
Oh, sorry. I'm picking up some. I'm
Yeah,
picking up
abjuration,
some
yeah.
abjuration magic.
Yeah.
That's a different reaction.
Yeah,
Very,
abjuration.
very different.
Yeah.
Yay.
Abjuration, sorry.
I'm picking up some defensive magic nearby.
Mhm.
Oh,
And sort of like looking around.
Can I roll stealth now?
Yes, go ahead and roll stealth. You have
I've been dying to
you have
roll
a
stealth.
+10 to your stealth.
Oh, well. Can you beat a 25?
Do you not have the +10 added already? So it's a
Well,
25. It's a 25 with the nat 1.
Well, if she's invisible,
She's
she'd
not.
have it.
She's not invisible.
Oh,
She has
she's
passed
not.
without trace. Evan is invisible.
Right.
Who is gonna roll normally with his stealth because he's flying? So like that wing noise would actually sort
Yeah.
of cancel out. He does have a +10 because he's within range, but he is flying. So with Evan, he's gonna roll his stealth. Is he expertise in stealth though? He is. So he has a +15. So he has a +25. This is what happens when you're trying to find rogues. Like, so
Oh.
at normal state, he has a 38. So y'all, everyone roll perception.
Yeah.
Alright.
Y'all
Alright.
or investigation. But I would
Can I
say
just
perception.
Can I just take 20 on this?
Yeah. What is your? Yeah, but what is your?
Since
plus?
I have a nat 20, my plus is +1, so it'd be 21.
So it'd be 20. I wouldn't waste your nat 20 on that just because it's not gonna meet any of those, right?
Yeah.
No, never mind then.
Yeah. So does anyone have the ability to get a 25 or higher on their perception?
No.
Fleece is just going to skip over to his allies and
Mhm.
yell out to the distance. If you feel like we are trying to hurt you, I assure you, we are gentle folk. We do not mean any harm. Please, wherever you are, my name is Fleece.
Can because Rava doesn't know that she ended up as a soul knife on it because she just got back from the Shadowfell. I'd imagine that the her powers are just starting to show up
Manifest,
as yeah. So because y'all are within range and stuff, you just sort of hear mutterings of distrust in your head. So I was reading the thing, just flavor wise. Just after the arena and after I don't know where anything is. I don't know where anyone is. Who are they speaking?
You feel
I
some
don't
hands
recognize this
yeah.
coastline.
You feel some hands on your shoulder and like whispering, well, not like in your ear, it's just sort of like, don't worry, Rava, stay here, I'll handle it, okay? Like, just be my backup, okay?
Feel like someone's in need.
You got this.
Are you
I got
sure?
you. Absolutely.
Rava doesn't realize she's not speaking.
Yeah, he can see you because like you're not like hiding from him, like so like he's invisible and he can see you, like he knows where you are, so he's like trying to comfort you. In fact, see if calm emotions, he doesn't. He will try to comfort you. He'll roll a persuasion if you would like, if you need it.
She does feel trusting of him enough to calm down some, but she's
Okay.
not. She's still very unhappy.
All right. Okay.
The grumbling will continue.
Rava, believe in the Evan that believes in you. And so you guys sort of see, you hear first, I'm coming out, don't shoot.
Of course not. And he'll
No.
pull out a daffodil from his fanny pack.
And so about 15 feet in front of y'all, you see what looks like to be a teenage boy, probably around 17 years old. He's wearing this very scraggly makeshift patchwork cloak and tight pants. He has white hair, these sort of purple faceted shiny eyes. You can see he has what looks like to be like silver scales that are sort of growing out from one side of his body and against like his face. He has black claws and obviously wings, like silver wings, and he's holding up his hands and he's like, "Hi."
Acid arrow. No, I'm playing.
Yeah.
Rava does have her bow out.
Okay.
She doesn't have it drawn back, but she's watching.
When he becomes visible, does the sense of abjuration go away?
No.
Storm Child, why don't you take this daffodil and give it to this young man? Go ahead. You will be our diplomat in this matter. I believe in you.
Oh, okay. She's gonna approach really slowly and just give the boy the daffodil and just be like, "Hi, I'm sorry that we scared you."
No, it's fine. And he takes the daffodil from you. It's sort of like as he like takes it though, you can kind of see like the way that he touches it. Like the stem starts to freeze. At his touch. A suspected spam caller. No.
Oh no.
No, we don't need spam calls.
No,
matter.
I'm running my D&D game. Leave me alone. And you're like, what color is the daffodil? Is it yellow?
It's spam colored.
Okay.
Spam color yellow.
Okay, spam yellow.
If your spam is yellow, don't eat it.
Don't eat it. Unless it's a turmeric one, because if it has turmeric in it, it just turns everything yellow.
Again,
It does.
no change to my previous statement.
Oh.
You don't put turmeric with spam.
Not with that attitude.
You never had a spam coconut curry? Come on.
Oh, that does not sound good.
It's not.
All right.
He'll like take it. Thanks.
All right. Well, let's start with the directions because we don't intend to harm anyone here. My name is Thora.
Mm-hmm.
Over there, and she points, that's our companion Fleece, and I point over to Malik, and this is Malik. What's your name?
Evan.
It's a very nice name. It's nice to meet you, Evan.
Thanks. Y'all can all roll history on that.
All right, I will
Sure.
absolutely do that.
Mm-hmm.
A 22.
29.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all know your history. Oh, geez.
Wow.
Yeah.
All
I have-
well educated.
I am proficient in 4 skills. They are all intelligence skills. I am proficient in nothing else.
Yeah. Fleece, if you want to roll on that too, you can. It's up to you. No, please, no. So the two of you have, with those history checks, know the name, and you're looking at him, and he is clearly dragonish. It pings something in something that Councilwoman Joanna, would have told you, in that before this had all went down, she had discovered a cousin, her first cousin that they thought had died at birth from her aunt, who was named Evan, and who was possibly a dragon.
Like as she just hears the word Evan and sees him, she's so like, wait, are you that Evan?
He looks very
That Evan.
confused.
Are you that Evan? You never want to be asked if you're that Evan.
I'm not sure who that Evan is. It was a very common name, I think, when I was born.
Huh. Okay.
Explain.
Okay, so I get Thora was gonna explain slightly why she thinks he's that Evan.
And you kind of see, like, his pupils will dilate and his eyes widen. And he, like, turns to the bushes and he goes, Rob, it's okay, they know Joe.
Wait, they know Joe?
Just
out of
the bushes.
nowhere, just like literally melting out of the shadows, is this drow with her
Stand
bow
up,
out, and
Spider.
she's like, just they. I'm sorry. Who exactly are you? We just. Okay.
That's
oh,
Thora, Malik, and Fleece. Like, because Evan knew, like, you
We're-
said the names. Yeah.
We are part of the inner circle of her council.
I was not aware she had a council. Last we saw her, we left her in the what was the village called again?
Traska.
We left her in Traska with her
Wait.
baby, and we headed out. They have, they still have our horse. They still have my horse, and all of Ajax's belongings. She touches her pocket.
I mean, we're in New Traska, but I don't know. Do I know what Trask, like the
Yeah, no,
I-
you would know.
you-
Traska
yeah.
is like it was the territory, a very small territory.
Yeah, it was a territory, not a town.
It was
That's
a
why it's-
territory. Yeah, it was a territory and a city.
Okay.
Kind of. And so, not to get let's just have a little trigger warning here with some racial stuff. Like, essentially, the country of Laterma forced the indigenous people Trail of Tears style into this territory in the past.
We're in New Traska, not Traska.
No.
Also, have you two eaten yet? Are you hungry?
No.
Did you?
I
Okay.
have eaten nothing
All right.
but weird mushrooms and whatever else they decided to grow in the Shadowfell. I don't know.
Wait,
It was disgusting.
Wait. Did you say the Shadowfell?
Ah, yes. I was
We're-
dragged there by these. There was.
Where's-
I'm sorry. My head is rather. I might have hit it on the beach.
Okay.
Evan
Well,
rubs your back.
hold
Like,
on. Like, before we get into information, why don't I have a picnic blanket? We'll lay it out. Okay. I have various snacks we can split among ourselves. Let's just take a 10-minute break. All of us ingest some food, hydrate, and then we can talk about what's next. Are you
No.
hurt any? I am a paladin of the fluffy.
I am not hurt, but
Okay.
I don't have time to stop. I need to find some sort of wizard or spellcaster. I need to go back. My
Oh.
companions are still there. We were
Oh.
fighting
Everyone just
in
raises their hand.
arena.
I just like put my hand up.
Yeah, same mouth. Like two of us just like hands up at the same time.
Can you send me back? My companions are in an arena. They're fighting a beholder. We just had.
I mean,
She looks extremely upset. One of our companions betrayed us.
so hang.
Wait.
Can't send you back to the Shadowfell, no. But
Right now the veils are really thin here. It could be really dangerous to send you back to even to the Shadowfell. I don't even know how you
That
even
too.
came back from the Shadowfell.
yeah, we're here investigating part of where the Shadowfell began bleeding into the material plane, which it sounds like is where you came from.
I mean, I'm not entirely sure how I got here either. There was a beholder and
Geese.
there
There were so many geese. And
demon
Andy.
that horrible
Wait, didn't
devil
Beatrix
started laughing.
say something about geese?
Yes.
Surely there cannot be two sets of geese out there gathering.
There are lots of fleece. There are lots of geese all over the place. This is a beach. They're
Yeah,
all over
there-
the
This is
place.
a
there
touchy
were-
subject for me, okay? The geese and I have been at odds just because people
Are you
use them
saying
in
this?
pillows.
Are you saying this in a way that Rava can hear you?
Yeah, he's pretty loud in general.
Yeah, Rava has stopped talking and she's staring at you with like.
I mean, yes, but we can't really trust the word of the person who
She
destroyed the town.
Elbows past you guys, grabs your shoulders, shakes them. You've seen Beatrix.
Well, yes,
Where is she?
Back in Abotona.
Yeah, I
Take me there
gave her
right now.
free reign to my house.
First of all, who are you
that's-
before you start giving orders?
I am Rava Oral, and I need. Is she okay?
Yeah, she's fine.
Would I
took
recognize
care
that
of her.
name?
Yeah.
Would I recognize that name?
I'm just gonna go with those previous history checks. Yeah, you recognize the name because it is talked about that on a mission to rescue the chieftain's sister, Rava, who was also part of Dree being released. So Darkheart has probably mentioned Rava before, and Joe has definitely mentioned Rava before. You know, like historically, that Rava was part of these group of heroes that were kind of figuring out how to stop this apocalypse, ended up just fucking vanishing. Like, just vanished like 25 years ago.
You could just see Dora's eyes widen as she
Mhm.
hears like the full name. Like, wait,
Alex,
I have heard of you. Joe has talked about you.
Yeah,
Evan's
you
eating
disappeared 25 years
cheese.
ago.
Good. What?
Wait, excuse me?
You vanished like 25 years ago at the beginning of this apocalypse. I don't even know.
Wait,
I don't
wait,
even know how long I've been here.
Wait. It's
Yeah, you.
Rava needs stops for a minute. Like, it's 25 years.
Yeah, let's take you to Joe.
Yeah, we should definitely take you to Joe and Evan as well.
Both
Well,
of you.
here's some water as well as some granola. Why don't you enjoy some of that while we travel?
Yes.
Just stand over
I'm-
here and give me 10 minutes.
I'm not hungry anymore.
Okay,
I-
well, it's there if you need it.
Evan is hungry. He's a teenage boy, and as in shock as he is not gonna turn down free granola.
Excellent. Have granola.
I mean, that's fair.
Like he is a growing lad, So, um,
But before anything, I need to check and make sure that Beatrix is okay and she hasn't gotten herself into trouble or anyone else into trouble.
Last time we left her at the brunch place.
As okay as an ancient succubus that destroys
God.
places can be.
Oh no!
we
You,
not-
did you put a?
Huh?
Huh?
You cut out.
yeah, you
Kree.
cut out.
Can you repeat that?
Did we lose
Her
her?
internet might be.
A limit on her tab.
Oh, there we
Okay.
go.
Did you put a limit on her tab? Okay.
No, you see, I don't want to talk about it because it was probably the worst day of this year.
I will pay for it, but I need to check on her. Like she touch you, like she's not being subtle about it. She's touching something at her hip, like this a wood and metal
Oh,
weapon.
she was a part of your. Was she a weapon before? She said she was attached at the hip to someone.
yeah.
Was that you?
Yes.
Oh,
Rava
my.
will take the pistol out and
It's a
Just
gun.
hold it up.
It's a Winchester. Yeah.
Just because Malik, was told this person disappeared before he was born. Does she seem like she's being straight up with us, or does she seem like she's bullshitting
Yeah,
us?
just roll me an insight, please.
I am so good at
Rava's
insight.
deception's at
Um,
3.
so with the 3, you interpret this as you can't tell if she's telling the truth. Like, and I want to say is that the way that maybe you were taught this, Malik, very specifically, whether it was like maybe through an opinion through your dad or maybe even through some other scholars, was that party abandoned you all, and you kind of still abandon you to this fate of this world. So that's what's kind of keeping you from. Also, her association with an archdevil, not an archdevil, a devil, is sort of, you're still uneasy about all of this going on.
I am definitely directing us towards I will be directing us towards the teleportation circle that leads to the council chambers.
Gotcha.
Where there are people that can ascertain the validity of this person's statements.
Gotcha.
All right, I want to check. I need to make sure that Beatrix is not going to get into trouble, and then we can talk to Joe and we get all this sorted out. At 25 years, you said?
Yeah, it's
Oh my
been
God.
25 years. You and your companions just up and vanished, according to what Joe said. I'm not too sure. I don't even know how long I've been here for.
We've been gone for, I think, how long were they gone? They were in the chapel for like 2 weeks, right?
Yeah.
We were gone for 2 weeks.
Not me.
By
I
our
was gone
perspective.
for like a year and something.
Yes,
that's
Evan
dreadful.
arrived before we did, and we ran into him, and we were there for about 2 weeks. We traveled with a caravan. We ended up in an arena, and we were fighting a beholder, and then there was a flash of light, and now I'm here, and you say it's been 25 years.
Do I know about the time dilation between planes?
There is a possibility. You don't hear it so much about the Shadowfell, but especially like if you travel through the Feywilds, that they're like sometimes you just don't know, but there's also just the possibility with the giant demigod 3-headed dragon fucking up the veil. That could also be a part of it.
Yeah, there's lots of magic going on right now. I don't know if you've noticed. It's not exactly surprising that time sort of loses all meaning in relation to what you've been doing versus what we've been doing.
My God, things have gotten so much worse since I've left. Oh, God,
So, yeah.
This was...
We're going to take you to Joe first.
I'm so sorry
okay,
that this occurred to you.
Okay. I will talk to Joe first. I need one of you to find Beatrix and make sure she's not getting into trouble.
Not it.
I'll do it. She's my housemate.
Okay.
aura she puts off, it kind of turns off my aura, as police would call it. I don't know. It's something between infernal and radiant stuff that kind of gets me a little confused. I still don't understand that.
Yeah, I just don't like people that destroy the town I live in. Call me weird.
Well, I'm always willing to give anyone another shot. So let's go
I-
back, drink water, granola, talk to Joe. I go find everyone. Let's take care of ourselves.
Mhm.
Okay.
All
So
right, guys.
I pull out a couple of different vials of ink and some chalk. In one hand, crush the chalk and begin pouring it onto the sand in a specific pattern, and then splash the ink on it to sort of solidify the chalk into sort of like a slightly slimy consistency. Because you have to when it's on sand and not stone. Uh, um, and take about 10 minutes forming this circle that will direct us back to
Absolutely.
the council chambers. And then when it's done, all right, you'll have 6 seconds to get through this portal, so don't dawdle. And
Right.
duo locati la fel in natura de separate intim devin una. And it
Alright.
opens.
Alright, we all go in.
We whoosh through this teleportation circle. And so the way that where your circle is set up is sort of in it's got its own like little designated room, right? You and your dad like configured this. It's also like your dad's workshop in the area.
Yeah.
Nobody is in it when you get there, but you would know that when you arrive, like there's like a small like little alert that will happen, like
Yeah.
magical like
An alarm spell.
yeah, an alarm spell that will notify your dad that you have arrived here. And it doesn't take long for him to like come through, and he's like, that was fast.
Yeah, Felice is already gone. He's like,
The flu, he's all right.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Rob,
he's
Long
fine.
story,
We need
Dad.
to get Joe here
I
as
need to
soon as
talk to Joe
possible.
now.
And who's that?
These two were apparently dumped out on the beach from the Shadowfell. They need to talk to Joe.
Like, now this is actually really important. Like, really, really important.
Okay. I will arrange chambers. I'll fetch her. Meet in chambers. You were told to go look for what was going on with the Shadowfell, and this is what you brought back. So you brought back
Yep.
a drow kid and a dragon kid. So, and I say kid because Rava's what 22 years old. Like
Yeah.
she's still baby. Like
I mean-
younger than me.
yeah.
She's probably 23 or 24 now from because
Yeah.
she was 22 at the start of of season 1.
Yeah.
So-
So she will say she's 23 because nobody likes you when you're 23.
That's-
And
I don't like that logic.
it's a I'm very disappointed in you.
No, you're right.
Okay.
But still.
Like, don't disappoint me like that.
Okay.
So as you sort of all go into these chambers, oop, did I freeze again?
No.
It looked like my Zoom was frozen for a second. Because I do have to pee again, we're going to take a legitimate 5-minute break here since we've got about 40-ish minutes left of the stream to kind of reconvene. So everyone go to get your bio, get your snack. I will put the splash page back up, and we will be back in 5 minutes, everyone. Be right back. Wave, wave, wave. Ah. Everyone wave. We are back. Hi. Welcome back, everyone. We are done with our break. We have hopefully the last pod eat of the stream as we're in the last leg of episode 1. Okay. So we have Fleece just galloping out of the council room to the brunch place, leaving the group of you there, with your dad, Malik, who escorts all of you, with the exception of Fleece, to the council room and motions for you all to sit as he is going to go fetch the councilwoman for her attention.
Rava sits for about 10 seconds before she has to start pacing again.
Right before he leaves y'all alone for a bit, and the way that y'all are sort of sitting, the three of you are new party members. Y'all are sort of have your back against the door, whereas like Evan is sitting on the other side and facing the main door, and Rob is sort of pacing back and forth.
Well, 2 new party members.
Yeah, and you hear the door open behind y'all, and in comes, like Robbie, you recognize it as Joe, just 25 years older. Still looks very good, by the way. She is making 46 look amazing. And her bodyguard with her, this man also in his 40s, beyond his years, with a missing eye, sort of walk in, and there's like this dramatic pause as the 4 of you sort of stare at each other, like in that moment of recognition. What do you do, Rava, or anyone else?
Stand up, step to the side.
Just quiet. Oh my God,
Rava.
Joe. Rava just briskly walks over and gives Joe a hug.
Oh, she takes like a moment because she's sort of like in shock. But she'll eventually like sort of wrap her arms around you and give you like a pat on the back. It's like, it's good to see you, friend. You haven't changed.
It's been 2 weeks for me. They said 25 years.
Yes. It's been 25 years.
I'm sorry.
Well, she
we
motions
had-
you to sit again.
Rava will actually sit this time. She just
Yeah.
It looks like that she might have been in sort of a disbelief or shock before. It's starting to sink in.
Yeah, and she's gonna hold your hand, like, because she's a very empathetic person, so she can, like, she's also a little bit in shock. And as you go to, like, sit, her body, like, Sir Strathel, and Evan are kind of looking at each other there for a second, and you just kind of hear Evan say under his breath, it's like, is that Lash?
Rava
The
Rava looks at Evan and then looks up at Sir Strathel.
Yeah. Like, it takes you a minute, but it is that very strangly teenage boy that you left behind who had a heart of gold and just wanted to be a knight and marry a princess and all of those childish dreams. Here he is, worn, torn, scarred, adult. Yeah.
Gosh.
Yeah. Hi, Rava.
Do you have my cape? No.
He does have your cape. He's wearing it.
Rava's not going to ask for it back. If he's still wearing it, he can keep it. It's his now.
Oh, that's sweet.
It's the falcon cape, and he will like sit down.
Bad news about your horses, though.
Yeah. Actually, Harper's still alive, just very old. We found her, and this, like, for some reason, this is what Lash wants to talk to you about in this moment, is your horse. Because he is in shock.
Shock does weird things.
Yeah, and to kind of give you guys some insight, Lash and Evan grew up together. Like they are best friends. So, and he, as far as Lash understood it, Evan died 26-ish, 27 years ago. So he is having some moments to process that. So it's not just like his friend is coming back from the Shadowfell. His friend, who he last saw as a dragon, is alive in front of him again.
I mean, to be fair, he did die.
To be fair, he did die. And he got revived.
Seeing sort of the events going on, I'm going to lean over to Thora and just mutter, I think we should probably step outside and leave them to talk.
It's probably a good idea. Let's just go.
And before you guys can leave, Rava's just gonna be like, oh, I'm sorry. This is just a lot for me right now.
Yeah.
And she'll look at you all and just be like, thank you so much. Thank you. Oh God, I wish I'm not sure what to do right now.
Well,
Just sort of nod and sidle towards the door.
yeah. So the two of you leave Rava and Evan with their long lost friends and family, essentially, in this room. And Malik, your dad, comes out with you as well, because as interesting as that all is, insightful enough to know, like, this is like a moment for them, right? And he's gonna come out with the lot of you, and he's actually gonna question the two of you, and it's just like, so other than these two, were there anything else that you saw? Did you get a chance to actually investigate the area?
Beach seemed clean. Nothing else was happening. There was no residual magical effects that we could notice or see. No holes in reality or anything. It's just those two. There was also someone that apparently crawled their way out of Fleece's garden before we left. Named Bellatrix, whom I recall being... Sorry, Beatrix. Sorry, Beatrix, whom I recall being the name of a demon or devil that sort of laid waste to this town 200 years ago, and who, I point back to the room, she apparently knows.
You see your dad just like roaming between his temples. Are you saying she just popped up like daisies in Fleece's garden? Where's Fleece
From
now?
underneath them.
Okay.
He went
According
to get
to
her.
Fleece, buck naked.
Yes.
Okay.
Naked. He's going to get her. I sort of panicked and teleported us away from her when I realized who she was.
Without letting anyone know that. Okay, let's
Panic.
go find him. Let's go find him.
Yeah. No, that's probably a good idea.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fleece.
I will state that the meeting inside probably won't last too terribly long, just because Rava does want to confirm that this is actually Beatrix, because as far as she knows, Beatrix is the only companion that survived.
Yeah, I got you, fam. Don't worry, I got you here. Fleece, where are you heading?
Brunch
To the brunch place. You make it to the brunch, and the brunch place, which a new sign is being hung up on the brunch place. Once called the Seafarers place, is now called the Orange Door, as the new sign is being lifted by workers, and you see Beatrix is like, oh no, to the left, to the right. Perfect, beautiful, I love it. Oh, Fleece, welcome back. You know, the owner here was so fascinated with me that he just gave me his restaurant. It's mine now.
Oh.
We are going to change, as delicious as it is, I want to turn this brunch into a brunch buffet.
A brunch buffet.
Yes. And we will have entertainment 24 hours a day.
Okay, I like the entertainment. I guess it's really the the buffet. I feel like you can have a more of a personal connection
Oh,
when
you
the
can still
food.
order from the kitchen, but it's more of like a special for patrons who want to come and see the
Okay,
girls.
okay.
Or
Oh
the men.
man,
Or the
I
daisies. Hmm.
I am sorry for asking this, and
Yes,
truly I
of
am.
course.
But I have to do my due diligence.
Hmm.
There are some of my companions
Hmm.
who might not
You
find you as.
teleported away. You were gone for hours.
Yes. Also, how about my tab? Is that
Oh
what?
no, I own it. I own the place now. Don't worry. You eat here for free because you are my new best friend.
Oh, well, thanks.
You're
Rava
welcome.
sneezes.
Oh man. Wow. Yeah. So, okay. Can I speak? Oh man, this is
You
so
need to step into
awkward.
my office. Let's go into my office.
Yes, yes, that would be great.
And like
Um,
already as you like walk into this place, a stage is being built inside
oh
with
wow, that was
with,
quick.
with poles. Um and like the kitchen is already immaculate, so it is stayed, but she like guides you through. There's already like some beefy guys there like doing like interviews in sunglasses and suits. Like
Oh wow,
yeah, and
you have a real talent for entrepreneurship.
oh yes, I used to own dozens of these. We were a very popular chain in Midgar actually, but
Oh,
that's
well,
unfortunately
well,
that
I
didn't
mean, my
happen now.
personal hope is that this stays local, though. I understand the, in terms of kind of a
Oh, that is
capitalistic
so
society,
cute
like
and sweet.
trying.
And she like rubs your face. It's like you're
Oh,
so
hi.
beautiful.
You're gonna make me blush.
Oh,
Okay.
good.
Okay. So
And
this is an
anyway, have a
awkward.
seat. And she closes
Oh,
the office door. And
yeah.
so she's no longer just in pasties. There is a suit jacket over her pasties.
No.
Yes, because she's a professional boss
Nice.
now.
Yes.
You can still
Uh,
see the pasties through the shirt.
Oh,
he'll
yes.
he'll sit down.
How can I be of service to
So
you today?
yes. I there have been some
Mhm.
accusations concerning what you may or may not have done to this town in the past.
Oh, yes,
Now,
of course.
from my
Mhm.
perspective, I forgive you, and I understand that every evil act is kind of the byproduct of a very tough and unfortunate childhood or early times. Really, if everyone loved each other as they should, these things wouldn't happen. So I guess in that same vein, I'd like to say that I'm here for you if you
Mhm.
want to talk, and I'm in your corner if it you know if you need me to.
She like reaches over and takes your hand, and it's just like,
Oh
thank you.
yeah,
I
no.
really appreciate that. I've been wanting a new start and coming to this world out of the Shadowfell, out of being trapped in that weapon. Did I tell you that this dragon put me in there? And I was just doing my job, but you know, I'm not beholden to anyone anymore. Lilith is not my boss anymore. I am my own woman.
Excellent.
And
That
as you
is
can see, I am making
wonderful.
a respectable establishment here for respectable people.
It sounds
I am a
like it.
changed woman.
Oh, that is splendid.
Mhm.
Rava is in
She stands
town.
up, what?
Yes, she is
Just
the
like
reason
hands on the desk, what?
why we are back. I believe she is seeking you out, and I have come as a just to make sure that you were okay. She was worried about you.
Of course, like we have to let's get up. We have to go.
Okay,
Immediately have to go.
excellent.
She she doesn't have to waste her wish on me anymore. That is so good. I have to thank her. She was very good. And like as you like she's shuffling out the office, like she's just like someone's putting up the new light fixtures and she's like, excellent, excellent. I'm going to go out. Corin is in charge and like there's just like a kobold that waves. So listen to
Hi.
him or he will bite your ankles. Like the workers are like, yes, yes, absolutely. And you'll sort of usher out. But as you sort of do that, she will grab like your belt loop because she's like staring up into the sky and she's like, That
My fanny pack?
that your fanny pack. That's kind to be good.
What? But what's in the sky? What do you see?
And you look up, and you see very similarly to how like your garden was. You see this sort of like wispy, shadowy stuff in the sky, sort of opening and tearing a hole, and then you see like in that hole this giant eyeball open and start to push through. It's covered in down feathers as all following what kind of looked like would have been eye stalks now is in like this metamorphosis several headed geese neck with eyeballs in their beaks.
I'm terrified.
Good.
You've combined the beholder
And
with the geese.
so like think of it as like a six-headed goose with an eyeball in its stomach.
It's the goose holder.
It's a goose
Yeah.
holder.
I looked at Beatrix. It's my sworn enemies, the geese.
I'm having flashbacks to Untitled Goose Game.
And
But
like,
do
you
I
know,
see this? Do I see
not
this?
quite. 1 second, I'm not quite there yet.
We're not outside yet.
You're
We're
not
still inside.
quite outside yet. But and where like a beholder's mouth would be on this goose body under the eye, like it opens with its really sharp teeth, and it says one word. Brava. And we're gonna end
That's unfortunate. No! How could you?
there. Because it's the kind of person that I am.
10 minutes! How dare you? How dare you? I don't even.
Rava, you feel a
I
chill
don't
down
even.
your spine, and everyone's like magic senses start to tingle wherever they're at. So I will very, very happily allow y'all to rush outside to see the goose holder.
Oh, yeah.
Honk!
Okay. Damn it! And I want that ambient music for me again. There you go.
Hi, if anyone wants to draw the goose holder for me, please do it. Terrifying.
Don't do it. If you
No.
draw it, it becomes real.
But yeah, we are gonna go ahead and wrap up there because we're kind of coming in 10 minutes, and that's sort of the beat I wanted to leave us on. So thank you everyone for coming and showing up to the premiere of season 3 of Dragonstone. Had a great, wonderful time with my new and old people. Thank you for all the subs, the donations, and the biddies we got today. Very much appreciated. It sort of helps me keep this thing running so that I don't have to get a real person job. With that, things we have going on the channel for later today, you can actually catch us again at 6 p.m. We will have more Dungeons & Dragons goodness with Revenge of the Gith. We're on episode 2 of that of season 4. And that's exciting. There is a penis shield that moans when you hit it in that game. So
Of course there is.
it's
Of
called-
course there is.
It's called Cock Blocker. And
I'm in the wrong campaign.
so if you're not doing anything in a few hours, come back and check us out. Tomorrow morning, we have, in this time slot, we have the World of Ashenfell, which is another 5e campaign done by the wonderful Jen, which is very good. Friday, you can catch me over at Encounter Roleplay for the finale of the Defiant Power Play campaign, which is super fun. I've been having a great time there. And then Saturday, this week, we have our Emberwind campaign that is continuing, where you can win all of the Emberwind supplement material if you participate in the raffle. So, like all of it, like the player's handbook and everything. So consider doing that on your Saturday morning. But that's just me. I have 4 other wonderful people here who also do great things, and we're going to go in the opposite direction, the opposite order that we started in. So, Jillian, go ahead and tell us where we can find you on the internet in the next week and all of those good things.
Alright, so hey, my name is Jillian. I know I'm at G4GamingX on Twitter, so you can go follow me on that, but I'm also known as G4Gaming1 on Twitch, where I do variety streams. I do have a stream this Friday at 1 p.m. UC. I'm playing more Hades, which will be really fun. You can also find me tomorrow at
Mhm.
2 p.m. EST on twitch.tv/Cappy the Gamer for another episode of Curse of Strahd. Things by the Book of the Alchemist. Things are kind of merging together with Wardenshire and Barovia. There we go. And my character has questions. She has questions. And
Oh,
I
I
think
bet.
everyone else does too. And then on Saturday at 11 a.m. EST is the second episode of Chapter 2 of the Pathfinder 2nd Edition of Rise of the Lunars Chapter 2. We still have a murder investigation to solve, and it's getting a bit more interesting. Getting a bit more interesting. That's literally 2 different campaigns with 2 different murder mysteries, and it's going to be very, very fun. So keep an eye out for that.
All right, cool. Big John next, please.
Yeah. So yeah, you can find me on Twitter at Johnny Bates. You can also find me. I run the Final Show Films Twitch channel. We do tons of tabletop RPGs and other kinds of content both on our Twitch channel, twitch.tv/Final Show Films, and then our VODs and other materials go to our YouTube channel, youtube.com/Final Show Films. You can also find our podcasts anywhere you can find podcasts by searching for Final Show Films. We currently have World of Darkness Wednesdays. In 4 hours, we'll be going into Changing the Lost, our 3rd season of Changing the Lost in Grove or Green, where we have a bunch of traumatized changelings trying to make the world a better place, one hobgoblin at a time.
Oh,
And by better place, I mean murder hobgoblins. On Thursday evenings at 7 p.m. Eastern, we have Grand Terra Shadowfront, where I'm running a 5e D&D game through my own homebrew World of Grand Terra. Every other Friday, we have Lancer RPG in the evenings, again at 9 p.m. Eastern. And we have a couple of other D&D things that go up on our YouTube channel. We've got Odyssey of the Dragon Lord, which is a Greek mythology inspired D&D game. Stardust, which is a homebrew setting D&D game. We've got a couple other podcasts. We've just got a lot of things going on at Final Show Films, and until they move to until they moved to the Slady's Night Twitch channel, we have bi-weekly one-shots on Mondays, which are bisexual representation, one D&D 5e one-shots, all bisexual people on the shows. I've been on it once, run by a very good friend of mine, who is also on our Thursday games. And yeah, we're always doing more tabletop RPG stuff there over at Final Show Films. So come check
As
us
a
out on Twitch.
bisexual, that always makes me happy. All right. Next we have Mitchell.
Hello, I am Mitchell at Penny for Tale on all the socials. You can find me later on tonight on Fable Forge playing 5e campaign. You can find me this Sunday with the Rolls and Revelry streaming stupendous extravaganza over at twitch.tv/Stella Luna, running Troubleshooters at 2 p.m. Otherwise, you can find me on account of Roleplay, Cult Divinity Lost, and my own channel, Penny for a Tale. Any of these, check me out. It's fun. It's awesome. I'll see you there.
All right. And of course, last but not least,
Hi, I am me. I am Bloodcry, and you can find me at twitch.tv/Bloodcry. I don't stream a lot anymore, but I'm planning on picking it up again. I've got something lined up for very soon. And you can also find me on Saturdays. I am in the Emberwind game as Sorcha, who is a lot less dour and a lot more unhinged. And she really likes books. So if you want to see me roleplay someone who's basically the polar opposite of Rava,
yeah.
that's where I'll be.
Yeah. All right. Well, then, with that, everyone, we're going to go ahead and give some love and some raid over to our friends over at Kobold Press. I see that one of my bestest friends, Noir, it looks like he is running that game, so that's super excited to see him. So, yeah, we're going to do that. So, everyone, wave bye!
Bye bye.
I'm totally waving. I'm waving. Bye.